This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Public Safety Committee meeting. Mr. Matthews, would you please speak?
Councilor Halverson.
Here.
Councilor Sanchez.
Here.
Councilor Best is absent. Councilor Foster is absent. So we do not have a quorum now.
So then we will put everything on the regular item, postpone it till the next meeting.
I will postpone the condemnations to the next meeting and we can go forward with the information items.
Okay. So first is the department updates. Police.
We can go through, we have a presentation. Mr. Pavers has put together a presentation here. And, so we can go through that. Kevin, I'll let you pass it.
Kevin, my name is D-O-R-S-O-N.
What's that?
My name is D-O-R-S-O-N. No E.
Sorry, H-O-R-S-O-N. I apologize for that. Was putting things together quickly.
It's all right.
Didn't take the time to spell check.
That wouldn't come up either.
Okay, I was asked by the deputy city manager to go ahead and put together an update on what's going on with the Development Services Center. I know for the past year or so, everybody's been hearing a lot about it. There's been some questions about where we're at, when we're going to move in, and hopefully I've got some good answers and good information. Todd is here to support me. He's got, if you want more information after we're done with this, talk to Todd. He knows everything about what's going on over there, and he's been with this project every step of the way. But let's give you all a little bit of background. Back in 2019, possibly even earlier, the city of Roswell, the administration, they realized there was a need to streamline operations and dramatically improve customer service in the community development department. We were actually getting a lot of complaints about poor customer service times, the length of time it was taking to issue permits, all of the other things that go along with just not being responsive to the community as a whole. The divisions weren't talking to themselves really well, and there was a need addressed or identified for a one-stop shop. This was actually something that the city manager, deputy city manager, and the city manager talked to me about extensively before I was hired, is what can we do to get this one-stop shop up and operational? I'm going to throw some pictures in here so you can see what's been done, because the pictures say a lot more than I possibly could, but just give you an idea. Customer service was the primary rationale driving this development forward, or driving this process forward. If you go over to our current building inspections office, you'll see one window, one person. Everybody has to stack up and get, I'm sorry, two windows. Two windows, okay. If you want to do anything other than that, you have to leave that building, come over to planning and zoning, go to other locations. In this location here, you can see we'll have a total of 5 customer service windows, one for each division. One for real estate, one for planning and zoning, one for building and inspections, one for code enforcement, and one for business license. So each division is going to have their own customer service window. So people will not get stacked up, will not have to wait around. Okay. There was a lack of available office space in the city, which hampered our efforts until mid-2021. And in the middle of 2021, the SunWest Bank building was sold to new owners. And at that point in time, the bottom floor became available, came on the market. We went over there and negotiated and completed a contract to approve the lease for the space as a Development Services Center in late June. And it should be noted that the city did a really good job negotiating, because as part of the agreement, the building owner is responsible for all the construction of the tenant improvements. The city's not putting out a dime for tenant improvements. So that's something that's just been, and that's what we've, in many cases, what we've been waiting on. This is just an example of the break room. It is nearly completed now. But you can see brand new facilities. For those of you that may remember now, I was not here when SunWest Bank was still in operation. Okay, but Todd has some pictures of it. It was a fully fleshed out, it was a bank. Okay, and they have taken it and completely removed all the stuff with the exception of the vault. I guess the vault is being redone. We'll have that for storage, and that's where I can put Todd when he gets out of line. Now, they haven't given me the combination to the lock or anything, ever key, but we'll figure that out later. Anyway, we've got so we're gonna have the nice break room for the staff. Again, because of the age of the building and the need to make significant upgrades to meet current commercial building codes, standards, and the city of Roswell requirements. And we had quite a few of them. Progress has been slow but steady. Okay, the architectural design for the tenant improvements, permits, demolition, and asbestos remediation, that was a big deal. We had a significant amount of asbestos in this building. They all had to be brought out. It all had to be remediated. It all had to be cleaned up and then put back together. New electrical plans and drawing prepared by a licensed electrical engineer. Again, because of our communication requirements and because of the need to have a fully fleshed out office with room for up to 20, 25 people, we had to completely renew the electrical system. That required completely new drawings. But those communications upgrades have been done. To give you an idea, they put in some additional restrooms for us, which involved chopping away at the foundation and making room. And it wasn't just in the restrooms. There were some other places, like I'll show you a picture of the conference room here in just a few minutes, and you cannot see it. But in order to lay in the conduit so that we could have all of our communications equipment, they had to tear up that floor as well and put all that back in. All of this takes time. Okay. Again, progress has been slow but steady. Major upgrades to the fire suppression system are underway. System drawings are complete and materials are arriving daily to get that done. Contractor labor shortages and many supply chain issues thankfully have been resolved at this point, which is why we can give you a really good update. And city staff, meaning Todd, is having weekly meetings with the contractor and the building property manager to update the completion checklist. Now, Todd, have you passed those out yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else
Okay.
want to get one?
Okay, everybody there, this is the punch list that is maintained weekly. You'll see anything in green has been done. It hasn't been updated this week. There were several more items that were supposed to come off, items 20, 21, and I thought one other were supposed to be done this week. But we'll have those done and completed. Bottom line is we're expecting to be able to move in relatively short order. This is one of the things I think we're most particularly proud of, the conference room that we'll have available over there for use by our planning and zoning commission, by city staff for meetings and everything else. My guess is depending on how we left it open like that, the room you see in the far back corner, that's a storage area. That's where we'll be able to have chairs, we'll have tables, we'll have everything else. So we can reset this room for just a lecture or a meeting for probably up to about 75 people. That depends on how many people Matt and Jared let us have in that room. I don't know if we've got an occupancy load limit, but resetting it for, we'll be able to reset it for planning and zoning commission meetings and any other kind of meetings we want to have in there. And we'll have all the audio visual stuff in. Path forward, again, most items on the punch list are cosmetic and are being expedited by the property manager. Barring any further supply chain issues, it's expected that work will be completed. That should have said early October, not early September, that's early October. Upon delivery of the premises, the City of Roswell IT department will complete audiovisual and communications upgrades. They're on top of it. They're ready to move in and begin putting in the remainder of our communication stuff. Anticipated movement and soft launch of the Development Services Center in mid to late October. And then hopefully once we get in there, we're making sure everything works, give it a month, 6 weeks, have a wonderful grand opening sometime during the holidays with a ribbon cutting and fireworks and parades, bands, all appropriately permitted, of course. And that,
Do you have a floor plan?
I can go get one real quick, but I did not bring a floor plan, no.
So you guys going to utilize that vault too?
Yeah, I do have a floor plan available. Like Kevin said, I've been with this project since the very beginning. Anything that anybody wants to know, please come see me.
Right.
I've got additional pictures and floor plan and.
So you guys are only using the bank part, not those offices that are on the west or east side?
Correct. We're occupying what was known as the old Bank of America building.
Yeah.
On the other side of the lobby from the elevators is Casa. Casa has that whole other half of that building, but our offices, there's a nice big public lobby. There are 2 breakout rooms, like Kevin said. Before, we used to have to go take people to a different location to sit down and spread out plans and do anything. There'll be 2 breakout rooms, good-sized breakout rooms. plus the conference room if nobody's in there. If the other breakout rooms are tied up, there'll be places there where we can take people. And we've got room for everybody that we currently house, plus a little bit of extra room for growth. But the vault will be utilized too for plan review and storage, which was one of the issues that we do have right now is storage. And most everybody in all the departments are double office together. So a lot of people are sharing space. This will give everybody their workspace, but again, it still has room to
Yeah,
grow.
because I've been in there and it's a huge space. Are you still going to have an entrance on the west and east sides?
The only entrance to the public will be on the west side of the building.
The west side.
Yes.
Okay, so there's better parking there.
Yeah, there's no access because there's limited parking on the east side of the building. So everybody's going to be signed and directed to the west side of the building.
Yeah, if you can email me the floor plan.
Yes. If you go back, Kevin, to the first picture, I think that one there. So looking at it right there, those are all cubicles with 8-foot ceilings. They don't go all the way to the roof. But there's cubicles all the way back from the west side to the east side.
So when people walk in, is this what they see?
This is what they see right here.
When they come in those east doors or west doors?
West doors.
When they come in the west facing doors, yeah, they'll walk into that area.
Offices and
So
conference room.
the public area will be limited to that area there. Off to the right of what would be that photo will be the double doors that will go into the big conference room. So people will come in through that door, they'll go into the conference room for meetings and things, and come right back out. But what you don't see, if you look a little further to the right on that picture there, are the public restrooms as well as the 2 breakout rooms. Now, we put breakout rooms in particular there because in a lot of cases, we end up with people coming in to pull permits and things. They haven't necessarily done it correctly. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to meet with them in the breakout room, walk them through, fill out everything electronically.
That's right
there,
right before you
Yeah, right over there, right? That's where the breakout rooms are going to be. Exactly.
That's where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at.
Are you going to do like a ticketed system like DMV? Or are there going to be chairs and stuff, or people just wait in line?
I hope we don't have to resort to that. It's going to be, we haven't had a need for that yet. And we're also, one of the things we're doing in addition to this is we're moving to much more electronic capability as well. So people can pull down their applications, pull down the information, fill it out online, resubmit it and send it back in. So we are hoping that, I guess it's kind of a hard thing to say. We're hoping we're busy. We want to be busy. We want the city to grow and prosper. On the other hand, we want to maintain high levels of customer service too. So we'll cross that bridge if we need to.
I think a key point here is getting the Planning and Zoning Commission moved over there. A benefit to that was they're having to haul all their stuff once a month to the convention center, have their meetings, and then,
Oh, yeah.
or
So that big room will be.
so now everything, if they forget something, it's right, their office is right there on campus. They can step through the
Yeah.
door, pick it up, and still have access for people to show up for a meeting. And
I'm glad someone's making use of that space.
Yeah. I toured it yesterday with Todd, took me over there. It's very nice. It's a lot bigger than what I thought. It looks so, but they've really done a good job.
It's really going to, I think the bottom line for everybody is that it is going to dramatically improve customer service. It's going to, we've already started hiring the right kind of people. We already have a customer service specialist, Jessica. She sits over there and she helps everybody. She's almost like the gatekeeper. People come in, they say what they need to do, and she makes sure they go in the right direction. So we've started retraining people in much better customer service skills. We are now much more oriented towards not just giving information, but walking people through what they need to do if they don't understand, and making sure that they don't have to make multiple trips back and forth. We go ahead and bring them in. And again, that's part of the reason for the multiple windows. Part of the reason getting everybody over there is just so we can streamline this process. We want our contractors building, not standing in line waiting to get permits. We want our new business people, selling stuff and generating GRT and everything else, rather than standing in line waiting for a permit. The other thing is, when we get this done as well, when we have big events like the UFO Festival, or we have other big events and we get a rush, let's say we have another bad hailstorm like we did. We'll be able to use the conference room as a staging area and get people just moving through. And we can bring, since we're cross-training our entire team now, we'll be able to just start issuing permits as quickly as possible, keep our inspectors out in the field inspecting, have our technicians issuing the permits. And I really do have, I really do believe that this is going to dramatically improve the way people think and feel about the city of Roswell and our customer service ability.
Yeah, because I was going to wonder if you cross-train, that way if you hit the wrong window, you don't have to go stand in line again. It's not a window. Nothing more frustrating than that. Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Well, also, it's brought up to me that I'd like to have an update on the situation at Fire Station 4. And so I'll let Chief Miller fill you in on the latest on that. We were very excited at 5 o'clock last night, but not so much as at 7 o'clock this morning. So Chief, I set the schedule for you.
I'm not crying anymore at this point, if that matters. I typed this up right quick this morning, just in case anybody that's here would be interested. It just kind of, it's the quick, short version of the whole story, basically. So since this morning, 6:30 this morning, we'll go backwards. So our fireman got up this morning, ran across the road to grab the crash truck to babysit the flight coming in, and he heard water running. Well, there was water coming out of both sides of the doors from the living quarters into the truck room. It was literally one little faucet in the front bathroom. The plastic PEX line literally popped out of the valve at some point. I think it probably had something to do with the water break yesterday, but it completely flooded the entire building. So facilities maintenance and our fire crews have been out squeegeeing and shop vacuuming and setting fans up all day to get that cleaned up.
So you got to worry about mold again now.
No, we're not going to have to worry about mold again. We're going to be able to get it cleaned up. Worst case scenario, I am working with Miss Shelley with probably an insurance claim on that, just in case if we do have to cut some of the sheet rock down at the bottom to dry those walls out.
Shouldn't that water thing have detected a leak and warned somebody?
Yeah.
Those things that go on the water meters that we were talking about?
If it's being monitored 24 hours a day, it's not monitored.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, and not only that, but it would have just thought a sink was running on this one.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even seen it as a leak.
Wow.
And we're also checking in to see if the water leak may have had something to do with that. If there was water hammer out there,
Yeah.
that line was hit. But
You still waiting on the air conditioner too, or?
They're in Houston. They're looking for a truck to get them here. And I was able to confirm that this morning to make sure that that was correct.
So that's what we were excited about as of Friday was our air conditioners were in Houston on their way here. That project was going to be
We're
completed.
literally down to a little punch list of little things that contractor was going to finish up for us and
What's happened?
it's going to be ready to go.
So we will keep you updated, Chief Wheel, by email as we find out what the extent of this delay is going to be. And he will email out to the Public Safety Committee any updates.
Were all the floors concrete?
What's that?
No carpet and everything, just all?
Well, there's a little bit of carpet. There's carpet in the training room, but it's those really thin carpet tiles.
Yeah.
There's no padding or anything underneath them.
So
We're
shop.
worried that the glue's not going to hold them down. If we can salvage them, we probably have to glue them back down again. But, and then there's little carpet tiles just in each dorm rooms. All the rest of it's just concrete floor.
Mike, do you want to answer Rita's question?
Questions to you, so go ahead.
Okay.
How many employees do you have?
Rita, we just saw your question. Go ahead and answer it. You asked how many employees do we have in community development and how many more are expected to be hired? Right now, we're down a little bit. We've got a vacancy in our planning and zoning division. We expect to hire another person here before the end of the year to bring us back up. That'll give us a total of 18 in the community development department. But remember that covers 5 different divisions. So myself and then the building and inspections division, code enforcement, planning and zoning, real estate, and business license. So we've got 17 people right now spread out over those 5 divisions. We do have room in the new building anticipated for another 4 or 5. And if we double up, we could probably get a few more than that. But we are anticipating some growth over the next year or two if things continue to keep up and the word keeps getting spread about the good things that are happening in Roswell. So we're looking forward to, quite honestly, I think I could use another building inspector in the very near future and probably another code enforcement officer as well. But listen, we can handle 4 or 5.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Madam Chair, that was the 2 reports that we wanted to present to you today. If you have any questions, we have department heads here. Have the monthly reports in your packet, so.
Yeah, I've written over those. I do have a question for Chief Smith. I was looking at they sent me the sergeant's logs.
Mhm.
So from the mids from yesterday, I was a little concerned about, they look pretty busy. But one of them, he had problems with a radio or something. Let me find it. Okay, he was identified as Johnny Ortiz. During this pursuit, Sergeant Reese and I had no communication with the officers, making an extremely dangerous situation. The current radio is and was still so digitized. We had no communications. I only learned of a crash and location after being advised by dispatch. Do you know what that means?
Digitized, they should all be on the simulcast. So I don't know if he was on the wrong channel, if the officer was on the wrong channel, if they had their radio not programmed. They said, I haven't heard any issues.
He had a taser guy, but he mentioned that about being digitized.
It must have been the field because it was clear as day in our center.
So,
Because it was immediate tase and they called for 55. So from our side, we are having significant radio problems, but not on RPD. So it must have been a field thing. It might have.
there's plenty of things that can happen, especially in a scuffle like that or a cluster.
Madam Chair, I think it might have been an isolated incident.
Okay, I was just worried to make sure you had the right equipment or something was wrong.
We've outfitted all our employees.
Yeah. Well, I thought so. We just,
Right.
I was just worried
I
because
don't know the,
How do you look at those logs?
I like it, those logs.
Huh?
Yeah. There's so many crazy people out there. I feel sorry for you guys.
if I may, the problem with the digital radio system is it does robotic
Yeah.
sound to it, and that's what.
Yeah, it cuts out.
Because it also modulates.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes when they're excited, it.
Oh, yeah. And then like that.
And if you listen on portable, it's not as strong as if you would listen to a mobile.
Okay. And we are still planning a tour. We just need to get our dates. We keep trying. Okay, that's all I had. Do you have anything, Sabina? You all good? You guys have any questions for us? Anybody? Okay.
I have nothing further, Madam Chair, unless you have questions or any desires going forward. I cannot think of any. There may be a couple more projects that we want to update you on next month, maybe the West Second Building project for the PD. So I may try to add a couple updates because I know that was a desire of the council, and not so much to have these updates at the council meeting that would drag it out.
Yeah.
But in committees where, then if somebody wants to go back and watch it, they can, or join us at this meeting. They can get the information, so.
Anyone from the public have any more questions? Okay, then I guess we can adjourn. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you know what the status is?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I mean,